Hello, comic book guys and gals, and welcome to Comic Mag Musings Live. This fella's your host, Bill Miller. Very excited today because we are opening up an AOK, an act of kindness, from a fantastic community member, TheJacksonRoykirk. Now, when I first received this and I shook the package, it meowed. But that was a couple days ago. It doesn't meow anymore. So we're going to open up this AOK from Jackson. We're going to have a quick discussion about a couple different CGC labels, and then I'll open up a couple more packages to finish it off. So we've got Sly in here. How are you doing, sir? Good to see you. Darren, good to see you, sir. Thanks for stopping in. And the aforementioned TheJacksonRoykirk. Very excited. So I believe it was a cat at one time. I have sufficiently shaken it to cause it to perish. And so now we'll open it up and see if, what is it, Schrodinger was right. Oh, so venomous snakes. Yeah. Oh, snakes. All right. I knew it. All right. So this is the package. Sean, how are you? Good to see you. And Novamad 19 and 66. Brandon, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. So we have our trusty box cutter, made for right-handers. Let's open this baby up. The box shouldn't bleed when I cut into it, should it? You never know with Jackson. He's into that, what is it the kids are into? Voodoo. That's right, he's into the voodoo stuff. So it's quite possible. Yeah, that's true. Should have been a desert unboxing. I could have relocated them into the wild. All right. We have some bubble wrap for safekeeping. And then he's even got a little pull tab to pull up. And an envelope with a letter filled with threats. Oh, very cool. So thank you, sir. These are awesome. We've got peanuts. I enunciated. Very cool reprints of daily and Sunday strips. 1 and 2. And don't think that the irony wasn't lost or was lost on me, Jackson. So those are very awesome. So I won't read the letter, but I will. I'll give you an executive summation of it, in that originally these were intended for mini musings, but Jackson says that he seems a bit smarter than me and he would probably get easily bored. But with my lowbrow intellectual level, they're right up my alley. So I appreciate that, sir. Those are both pretty awesome. We've got this rascal in here. Roger, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Alex, good to see you, sir. And this is to start off my next collecting obsession. That's fantastic. That is a riot. These are Star Black trading cards. So that's the, was that the Enterprise? And I'm guessing that's it from a different vantage point. And I don't know what that ship would be. I've managed to avoid ever seeing an episode of this horrible show, whether it's the original one or Voyager or what is it, New Frontier or whatever the heck. They got 50 of them, made none of them no good. And so I've managed to avoid them. And there's another type of spaceship. So yes, Jackson knows of my great love of Star Trek. So now I have some Star Trek trading cards to put in the spokes of neighborhood bikes. So they sound like motorcycles. So thank you for those. Very cool. Romulan Warbird. Is that the one that had the Cylons, Roger? All right. As we dig further. Oh, very cool. And so these are Mike Mignola Conans that Jackson was gracious enough to throw in for me. I very much appreciate that. This is the Dark Horse run. Oh, are you saying that's Battlestar Galactica? Is that the one I was talking about? Hey, if they did, I'd be the most popular guy in the neighborhood. Yes, I used to once upon a time. I have lots and lots and lots of them. They'll probably never be worth more ever than they are right now. But just the thought of going through those things is enough to dissuade me from doing it. So we have Conan number 29. There. Conan the Serpent, number 30. I think it's just Conan number 30. Yeah, gosh, and that's about as Mignola-esque on the cover art as you're going to get right there. That is fantastic. Same with this one. This is Conan number 31. Just great. Those are awesome. I don't have any of those, and they're going to be a great read. And they're all in pretty tip-top shape, too. So thank you, Jackson. I very much appreciate it. All right. I'm going to set those aside, and I will show them again toward the end for any rascals that drunkenly wandered into the chat late. I will save all of these notes, not for posterity, but for any criminal court cases that may result involving the TheJacksonRoykirk. Thank you again, my friend. I very much appreciate it. Everyone, all the norms in the chat are already linked and follow the TheJacksonRoykirk. But for those of you that might be watching this on replay, if you don't, I would highly encourage you to subscribe to TheJacksonRoykirk. All one word. 1 second. This is the rascal in question. He produces great content, loved by many, but still enough love to go around for a couple more subs. So TheJacksonRoykirk, please give them a subscription, give them a try. I'm sure you will enjoy it. So thank you again, Jackson. That was awesome. Always joke around with him, but he's one of my best friends on YouTube. And so I'm very humbled that you thought of me, and I appreciate it very much. All right, so what I wanted to discuss just briefly were some different CGC grading labels, 2 in particular. So one is a green label, which is a qualified label. And here is an example. All right, I got this, I don't know, a year or so ago. But this is not your typical blue label, which is a standard universal label, or a yellow label, which means that there was a CGC verified signature and or sketch placed upon the book prior to its encapsulation. This is a green label, and it is a qualified label. So in this case, if we look, the centerfold is missing and it affects the story. It is incomplete. So I believe the centerfold for this was like a poster. So you'll see that with some books. This one in particular, that'll be missing that centerfold because someone pulled out the poster and hung it up. Sometimes, not always, sometimes you can accept a lower grade and get a blue label. Other times they grade the book based upon its appearance, but then give a qualified label as to something that makes the book incomplete. So that's one example of a qualified label. They also have restored, right, which are purple labels, which have different degrees of restoration. And so depending upon the value of the book and the degree of the restoration, you could have it, especially if it was professionally done. Theoretically, if the restoration was professionally done, it can be professionally removed. But you can have the restoration removed, resubmit the book for obviously a lower grade, but a blue label. And they have gray labels for conservation that was done. So this is a sort of intentional restoration to preserve the book. And they also have like mixtures of colors. So you can have a conserved or a green label or a restored book that is signed. So it'll have like a strip of yellow at the top of the primary color. But here's another example. So like the one before, you usually see qualified labels on books that are missing something. They're missing a centerfold or they're missing a coupon. Roger, in his maniacal coupon clipping days, clipped out a coupon from one of the books. That would get a qualified green label usually. And it would say something, there's usually a note that would say, this is why it's qualified. It would say coupon missing, you know. Here's another example, right, with Savage Sword. So this is a qualified label. It says Boris W. Vallejo written on cover in marker. And that's what they're talking about, right? So they put that in there, qualified, because that's something, because they didn't witness the signature, that's writing on the cover, which would ultimately affect the grade. So they could, I don't know what their determining process is and if you can request that they do it, but they could ding the book on the overall grade and put it in a blue label, or they can grade it as if that weren't there and put it in a qualified label. Now, obviously, that's his signature, but they don't, CGC doesn't do signature verification. They do signature witnessing, which is very different, right? I mean, they PSA, they've had signature verification for different things for years and years and years. CBCS does do it, but CBCS does not encapsulate magazine-sized books. So that is why you'll often see, if someone wanted to encapsulate a magazine-sized book that already had a signature on it, you will see a green label. So there's another one. Well, let me stop there. Let's go to the chat real quickly. Don't go for the old kick the football trip by Lucy. Yeah. One time is shame on Jackson. The second time is shame on me, right? Oh, Jackson enjoyed Woodstock. He rolled his own cigarettes, Darren, if you know what I mean. Live long and prosper. Is that from Lord of the Rings? What else we got? I don't know about that, but I think I shat my pants once upon a time. Ahoy, Captain. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for stopping in. They are cool. Talking about those Conans. I'm going to check it out. That's alleged until we see it. Till we see some red hot content drop like an album. If I knew, I wouldn't tell you. That's true. So what Roger's alluding to, nice little segue, is part 2 of our retrospective on the Bronze Age run of Ghost Rider. We are doing that at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this coming Sunday. It will be on this channel. Don't miss it. It was going to be on Roger's channel again, but the TheJacksonRoykirk absolutely insisted it had to be on his favorite channel, and that's this guy's. So to accommodate him, I'll be hosting that in a live stream this Sunday. Roger will be there as always. We'll have the same format, and we're going to have loads of fun going through issues 36 through 81, the end of the Bronze Age run. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And I haven't talked to Metarog about all the details yet, but I suspect if he's willing, this might be something that we could do every couple months or so, where we pick like the Invaders or the Champions or the Defenders or something like that, but something with a reasonable number of books, either from the Silver or Bronze Age, and just do a deeper dive into them. Because I know I've had a lot of fun, and I think he has as well, and the chat seems to really enjoy it too. It is a great AOK. Fantastic. I love it. What else we got here? Keeps jumping on me. Yes, there is unintentional restoration. Absolutely. Well, I don't know. I guess I guess there would be an unintentional restoration. I guess if you were just having fun, taking a marker and doing some color touch just for fun with no intention of trying to improve the appearance of the book, I guess for any sale value, I mean, that'd still be restoration. It may not be with the intent of improving the look of the book or the sellability of the book, but yes. But most restoration is intentional, is either done by kids. You know, some restoration, I guess, could be unintentional because the original intent was as conservation, like gluing, tear seals, things like that, to prevent it from getting any worse. Those are still restorative processes, and they will be looked upon as restoration. And I think there are 3 levels of restoration. And so it'll still be seen as restoration, but there are some qualifiers, like some tape on an older book, particularly golden or silver, that might not be seen as restoration if there's like a small piece of tape. Ah, yeah, that's right. That's true. That is why it wasn't on Sunday. Well, that's not very nice. I take back almost everything good I said about Jackson then. All right, here's another one that not a lot of people have seen. Well, I guess I can't say that. I suspect there are some of you who may not have seen this type of label before. This is the only one that I have. And this is the red label, CGC Modern Grade. Sort of like a dark reddish brown. But for when CGC first started out, for about a year or so, I think, any comic book that was post 1975 would get a modern label. And I think, and after about a year, they realized that that was kind of silly, and that was a moving calendar, and so they stopped doing it. And then all modern books got the standard universal label after that. But for about a year, anything post 1975 that was graded got a red modern label. That's the only one that I'm aware that I have. I don't know that there are any, I don't think that those are collectible. I suspect they're collectible from the standpoint of the same reason people would pay a premium for an earlier CGC blue label, in that they think that they haven't been cleaned and pressed, and that CGC graded more strictly at that point than they do now. But I don't know that there are people out there who are trying to collect red label slabs. Who knows? Yeah, it is kind of reddish brown, but technically they're called red label. All right, so that is it on the little CGC grading forum discussion, if you will. Now we're going to get into cracking open a couple of comic books. So let's see what we have. Now, Jackson really likes it when I take a long time unboxing these books. So just to spite him, I'm going to try to speed it up a little bit. All right, let's see what we got here. Well, it's packed pretty well. Okay, it's like 2 books. They're raw. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, these are both really neat. I saw these on Comic Hijinks channel. I thought those are cool as heck. This is Cursed Pirate Girl, #1. This is like the 3rd printing, I believe. It's super cool. It's stamped. A lot of the cover is stamped on there. Just took different stamps for the trade dress and for the price. So that's one. And then this is Cursed Pirate Girl #2, 2nd printing. This is Jeremy Bastian. So I thought those were pretty cool. So that's what was in that one. All right. Let's see what we got here. These are all raw, I do believe. Well, I think so. This one's raw, whatever it is. Never. Actually, I would crack open a slab if I was concerned about getting a higher grade, and I thought there was a chance that I could do that with a press. But thus far, I've never cracked open a slab. The weight is half the fun, Jackson. All right? That builds the anticipation for you. All right, let's see what we've got here. Oh, okay. Nothing big. But this is the, what is it, Avengers? Indigenous Voices, the Avengers number, I can't remember the number on it, 30 something maybe, with the, I think it's Verege cover art. And then there was a series of them, like 6 books spanning different titles: Spider-Man, Incredible Hulk, Thor, Black Widow, this Avengers, and what else? Probably missing 1 or 2. The Indigenous Voices series itself. Gosh, there's probably 1 other one, but I never got them when they first came out. And I think I like them. I dig them, despite what this smarty pants right here says. I dig them. So that one's pretty cool. So that is it. And now we have one more. So let's see what's in this guy. Yeah, this is definitely raw, all raw books. Are you talking about your finger paints, Roger? Probably smeared all over your face, your hands, your clothing. I hope you got taken out to the woodshed and taught a lesson and you came home all messy like that. You probably didn't. That's why you're a bit feisty now as an adult. All right. Well, so this is it. And some bubble wrap between these two pieces of cardboard. I don't blame you. Oh, cool. Now, if I can safely get this off. So here's where we get into the aforementioned taking quite a while to get it open part. When there's so much tape. Tape is really the big one. Not so much the packaging. It's the tape and how it responds to different types of materials. That is true. But let's keep that in this chat room, shall we? If you're on your phone, Sly, you could take me in there. It doesn't sound right. Never mind. Matthew Woods, thanks for stopping in, sir. Good to see you. Bubble wrap certainly makes everything safer, ship better. Yes, that is true. That's how you build suspense. Matt knows that. I've never damaged a book with a knife before, but there's always a first time. So I try to be pretty careful when I do this. Especially since a lot of these things were packaged for right-handers and not for handsome left-handers that might cut it in a different way. All right. By gosh, by golly, we got it. This is a really decent looking, and this is good looking. I thought it was undergraded by the pictures. The pictures said 8.5. This is, now this is just looking at the cover. I haven't looked at the back of it. But other than this corner down here, I feel like this might be a 9.2. But this is Tales of the Zombie, #1. Simon Garth. Just a really good looking sharp copy. Except for that, you can see that corner. Get my finger off. Right there, just a little bit. See that? Right there in the corner. That would be the only thing that I can see cover-wise. Otherwise, the corners are really sharp. There's some bends in the spine that would press out, or near the spine, I should say. But otherwise, this thing is nice. So, Tales of the Zombie #1. Very cool. Very glad to have that guy. All right, so what do you say? Alec Biggie Blah. Alec Big Bly. That is Alec Big Bly. I like that. I like that better than Alex Big Blue. Alec Big Bly, which is like a combination of Alex Big Blue and Biggie Shack. Left-handers can't be trusted. Well, they used to say that that was a sign of a devil or something, right? Maybe they were right. I don't know. Let's see. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you, Matt. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Jackson's right. That is a Vallejo cover. That's your variant channel name. That would be awesome. All right. So a quick recap. We got Tales of the Zombie #1. We got the Avengers. I don't know what issue number. I'd have to check. But it is one of the Indigenous Voices covers, one of the variant covers done by Barege, I believe his name is. And we got Cursed Pirate Girl #2, second printing. Cursed Pirate Girl #1, third printing. And she says, "Ahoy, Captain." And then the real jewels is what Jackson sent in the AOK. The Dark Horse run of Conan numbers 29, 30, and 31. All Mignola, and they're authentic. You can test them like that the way you do gold. He also sent 2 volumes of Charlie Brown Peanuts strips right there, which I think are fantastic. Right there. Dave, how are you? Good to see you, sir. But the creme de la creme, the cherry on top, if you will, are these Star Wars cards. We've got the space station, I think, is near that one. And this one is that an X-Wing? That's either an X-Wing or one of those like Y-Wing ones. That one I'm not sure about. I think that Han Solo had that one for a little while. And that's like a different vantage point. So the Star Wars cards are super cool. That might be the best part of the AOK. So thank you, Jackson, for those. I appreciate that. See, Matt agrees with me that the Star Wars cards are spectacular. So thank you, TheJacksonRoykirk. Again, his link is in the description. Please sub him up. He's a wonderful fella. I'm honored to call him a friend and a foe all at the same time. Yes, that's right. Jackson does strike again. Romulan and Klingon ships. Not familiar with those. Oh, Roman. The Romans had ships? You're missing me on that slide. I don't understand that. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Appreciate it. Again, a reminder that I will not be on Cover Slingers tomorrow, but it will go on. That's on the Gray Man's channel each Saturday. What is it now? 2 p.m.? I think it is 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See, we don't change in Arizona. So all you other knuckleheads change time zones, and I have to keep track of that. But Sunday, this coming Sunday, I will be doing a live stream with Metarog on this is the second part of the Bronze Age Ghost Rider retrospective. So issues 36 through 81. Be there or be square. It will be a good time had by all. Carthaginian ships. That's right. It was. That's pretty good. All right. That's it, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Again, thank you, TheJacksonRoykirk, for the wonderful act of kindness. It's truly appreciated. Thank you, sir. Goodbye, all.